just like myself in 2009, Stephen McNeil, got exposed to cryptocurrency that made no sense to me. I thought it was a scam. I thought it was the mark of the beast. I didn't want to get involved. I didn't do any research. I made an emotional decision and said, no, not going to do this. In 2011, I was exposed to this again, and I did get involved. In 2011, a friend of mine gave me a call and said, Stephen, hey, there's a new thing about to kick off in this area of currencies called cryptocurrency. Have you heard of it? I said, man, I heard about something like 2 years ago. I said, what is it? He says, Bitcoin. I'm like, okay. He says, Stephen, you can send me $1,000 and I can help you get started, man. I think it's going to be the future. Just don't mess with it. Just leave it. And I said, okay, man, let me ask you a couple of questions. Can you tell me a little bit about the founder? He said, well, no one knows who that is. I was like, okay. He said, I said, so can you tell me a little bit about the corporate headquarters? He says, well, they don't really have one. I'm like, man, I can't send you any money. I can't do it. Didn't make sense to me. And so I didn't do it. And so that was 2011, the last time. And then you fast forward to 2017, when you hear about the CEO of all things JP Morgan Chase Bank, Mr. Dimon, Jamie Dimon, he says he's not a Bitcoin supporter at a CEO summit for the Wall Street Journal. And then he delivered a speech for the Alpha Conference held by CNBC. And he said, it's just not a real thing. Eventually it will be closed. It won't end well. Fast forward 1 year, actually 5 years later, JP Morgan reportedly allowing clients to access crypto funds. There's no longer reportedly. This is exactly what they're doing. And they put over billions right now into the crypto space. And they're moving in that direction. So times change, people change. You have to adjust. And so he adjusted. Think about that. JP Morgan Bank, Stanley Bank, this founder decides to make this move 5 years later. What about Elon Musk? Same thing, of Tulsa fame. This guy created PayPal, invested in PayPal, made a killing, created SpaceX, sending rockets into space, very sharp, hiring the best minds to do that for his companies. So surely it makes sense for this guy to hire the smartest minds to handle his money, right? He also creates the electronic car. So think about this. Last year, actually this year, February, he put over $1.5 billion into crypto. He realized some profits in those 6 weeks from February to the second week in March. He actually generated more revenue profits in 6 weeks in cryptocurrency than he did in the last 5 years into the electric car. That is huge, huge. Now think about this for a second. Why would he make this move and buy the coin at $33,000 per coin when he could have got it for a lot less expensive? Well, that, according to his analysts, which are some of the smartest minds out there from Wharton Schools of Business, Yale, Harvard, you name it, they decided that was the tipping point. That was the number where it was acting like a real stock. So they went in and did that, and he's crushing the game right now and having a ton of fun. Cranking has about $100 million in terms of staking rewards just in the first 6 months of 2021. Staking is another term for the word savings account. You'll learn more about that later. Over $40 billion in business they project to happen in the next 4 years. Again, JP Morgan Chase reportedly estimated. So they're doing a lot of homework. A lot of things are starting to happen. Here's another exchange called Coinbase, the crypto market cap at 86% in terms of growth. Yeah, just exploding in growth. It's huge what's happening in this space. Goldman Sachs, again, another iconic brand in the financial services industry, one of the big dogs, and they're creating their own DeFi and blockchain equity fund, an ETF, which is basically exchange funds, it acts like a common stock for a way for people to invest and get involved. Exchange traded funds aims to invest at least 80% of their assets. Now, their assets are in the 200 and 300 billion. It's huge where these big financial institutions are going and how this space is starting to move. Cryptocurrency market cap, 3-month high, bullish, and it's going even further. Think about this number. I remember speaking with Mr. Johnny Green, you're gonna hear from later, back in early January. And I'm doing presentations. I'm going, man, Johnny, I can't believe this. The first time I've been able to say this number. Look at the market cap for cryptocurrencies over about 1.2 trillion, and that was January. The market cap for cryptocurrency now is over $2 trillion. Think about this. This is huge. There's a lot of money moving in this space. It's not ethereal. It's not up for, up for debate. It's not on trial. It is moving in a major, major way globally. China, they're launching their own digital coin called the digital yuan. And they started implementing this process in 2014. It's huge what they're doing. And you may have been reading about what they did a few weeks ago. They started ushering in a very fast move of getting their Bitcoin miners out of their country so they don't have any competition. I understand why they're doing that, but this is huge. It's a big economy moving into crypto, getting out of paper. The majority of the world's banks are invested in crypto and the blockchain companies. That is amazing to start to hear that and see that. Think about this, where we put our money, where we've been told all our lives, hey, save your money, put your money in the bank. That day has changed, a major paradigm shift. The financial system and the way we did things growing up, as a way of habit and the way our parents may have told us, that system no longer exists. It's all moving to crypto, but no one is telling you, not your financial planners, not your bankers, not your 401k administrators. Why? They're holding on for dear life, and they're keeping themselves afloat by your fees that you started 5, 10, 20 years ago. But that day is over. But the companies that those 401k companies invest in are moving into crypto. So why aren't you? And why not now? So we're going to give you a reason to do that and explain more information with you right now as we get ready to start sharing about what's happening in this space. And I want to bring on one of my dear friends and brother in this space, true trailblazer, very strong financial guy, serious about business, pro business. This guy was the finance guy for one of the largest auto dealerships in Washington. In fact, in the Kirkland, Bellevue, Redmond area, this guy was their number one closer, doing six figures a year, mid six figures, very successful. Got involved with this company, and there's a lot you're going to learn about our company. But anyway, he finished number 24 out of 125,000 people and went to Dubai and got an all expense paid trip and picked up a green faced Rolex watch. That may not do anything for you, but did a lot for me to see him do that. And he's now full-time in the business. And I want to bring him onto the floor. Mr. Johnny Green Jr., the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I want to say thank you, Mr. McNeil. Because of you, we are all here. And you and I had spoken earlier. And it's time for us to sound the alarm. And what I mean by that is we have an opportunity, and I believe we owe it to our friends and family to sound the alarm, ring the bell, and let them know the world that they live in is changing. So one of the first calls I made was to a real dreamer. He's been a gentleman. He's been one of my best friends for years. And he's going to take us down a path. And I want everyone to pay attention. I want you to be able to take copious notes. He's going to take us to a direction of how to understand about tokenized real estate. He's in the top percentages of real estate market. He is a licensed real estate agent here in the Seattle, Washington area. His name is Mr. Alfred Raouf. Mr. Alfred Raouf, I'm going to turn over to you, and please, by all means, go ahead and take us to the top of the mountain. The floor is yours.
Mr. Green said, my name is Alfred Raouf. I'm from San Jose, California. I've been up here in the sunny state of Seattle, Washington for approximately 23 years. As Johnny said, I am in real estate. I work for a company called EXP. This project, Tokenized Real Estate project, is right in my wheelhouse. I've introduced this to my real estate coaches. Both of them are on board. Come to find out, this is I wouldn't necessarily say new model, so to speak. It typically happens with cash. This is a cryptocurrency model where we're tokenizing real estate, which allows anyone and everyone to participate. So what I'm gonna do is go through a few slides. I recommend that you take copious notes. You can even write down the slide numbers. At the end, we'll have a Q&A section. Mr. Green, myself, and Mr. McNeil, as well as Mr. Brown, we are all committed to staying on this Zoom. As long as you have questions, we'll be on here to help with fielding those questions. At this point, you could take a screenshot. I'm not going to take the time to read it. This is just a quick little disclaimer. I will say that I am not a financial advisor. Again, I'm a real estate agent. I can't advise you on how to spend your money. What I'm going to do is show you a little bit about what I've learned and what I'm currently doing myself. So we're going to start again with tokenized real estate. There was a short YouTube video, about 17 minutes, that went into detail about how tokenized real estate was actually brought about and how it works. If you didn't have time, and I know not everyone does have the time to watch the video, I'm going to go through a very quick illustration of what is necessary and how tokenized real estate can benefit not only myself, but in actuality, the world. I see it that this will be the new way that the world purchases real estate, because it eliminates the vast majority of all of the fees associated with traditional purchases. So to begin, if you have you're going to need some type of a owner who has possession of a building. And that's kind of common sense, right? You can't have tokenized real estate if you don't have a building. And obviously the building needs to be owned by someone. This particular building is the G999 Exclusive Living Hotel. It's located in Dubai. There are two owners. It's dually owned, Mr. Joseph Height and SAAS Properties, which is the royal family in Dubai. So once you have this building, what we need to do is set up a smart contract and start to tokenize the real estate. And what they've done, Mr. Height and the royal family, is they've taken the 16th floor to the 36th floor within this building, and they've broken it into square inches, tokenized it, and sent it into a smart contract. At this point, I'd like for you to write that down, smart contract. You might want to do a little bit of research on smart contracts and NFTs. Now, smart contracts are going to change the world. This eliminates the ability for a human being to change his mind. I can put my car on OfferUp for $5,000. You bring me $5,000. I was hoping for a bidding war and banking on getting $5,500. I didn't. So I renege and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to sell my car. A smart contract is immutable. You cannot change it. Once these tokens are purchased on this smart contract, the new owner of that token drops down right here. So these are 5 people, just an illustration, who were able to purchase tokenized real estate in Dubai at $9.63 in phase 1. Now, there are 3 phases within this project. We're going to focus on phase 1 because phase 1 has the biggest advantage. Again, $9.63 in phase 1 by going into the smart contract, and we'll show you how simple it is to access the smart contract through our back office. Now, one of the amazing things about this, we all know how real estate works, right? You location, location, location. You buy a piece of property, the property appreciates in value over the course of a few years, and then you could either sell it or rent it out. The beautiful thing about this is that, again, the 16th floor to the 36th floor are rental properties. 203 of those are luxury rental properties. They could be upwards of $4,000 to $6,000 a month per unit. The amazing thing, again, with this project is that you win and you win and you just continue to win. So you will receive royalties in a cryptocurrency called USDT. based on the amount of revenue that comes in to the G999 or G999 exclusive living project. Now, USDT is, in short, it's a cryptocurrency that's very similar to the dollar, but it doesn't have that 15% depreciation that our US dollar will see and is currently seeing in 2021. It's considered a stable coin. It bounces between 99 cents, a dollar, and $1.01. Again, a stable coin is where people like to park their money after they're investing so that they don't have the volatility that is associated with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, again, you win here in phase one because you're getting the tokens at $9.63. When the project actually launches, and we'll go over this in the next slide, the coins are guaranteed to be at $18. That's an 86.92% return. But you also win by being able to collect up to 6% annually of what comes in on the rent rolls. Now you'll see here, there's 4 individuals that are incredibly happy. And this is Mr. Green over here, who's ecstatic because he decided that he wanted to cash out when the project launches in the 4th quarter of this year. So again, he's making that 86.92% return. And that looks something like this. We have phase one. This slide was actually taken on Sunday when there was 59 days remaining in phase one. So that means we have what, 56 days remaining in phase one. It's $9.63 per token at an 86.92% advantage. And on launch, the token price is going to be $18. Mr. Green puts in $100,000 in US dollars for these XLT tokens. In doing so, at $9.63, he acquires 10,384 tokens. At launch in the 4th quarter of this year, which is approximately 4 to 5 months from now, he decides he wants to cash out at that $18 price point. He walks away with $186,000. Now, I know that doesn't sound right, but it is. The token is guaranteed at a value of $18. If you get in phase one, it's $9.63. Again, we do have phase two and phase three. The advantages are much smaller there, but anyone who understands business knows that if you can get a 5% return on your investment, you probably want to park your money there. You're getting anywhere from 5 to 10%. Everyone is parking their money in that project. One more time, in phase one, you're looking at an 86.92% return. Now, the other 4 people decide to hang on to their tokens. Those who decide to hang on, their monthly passive income, if they had put $100,000 in, would be $943.60 per month, which in my opinion is going to be much more beneficial for me to hang on to those tokens because passive income allows us to do the things that we want to do when we want to do it. So again, you win, and you win. Now, this is the primary reason why my belief is that this will revolutionize how real estate is conducted. In purchasing these tokens, there is no application fee for a lender. There's no appraisal, no attorney fees, no legal fees, no surveys. You don't have to acquire home insurance, no title fees, flood fees, home warranties, real estate taxes, recording fees. You don't have to pay real estate commissions on the front or the back. And when I say the front or the back, the listing agent gets 3% in a traditional sale, 2.5 to 3% in today's time. and the buyer's agent gets 2.5 to 3%. That's a total of somewhere between 5 and 6% that you would be paying in real estate fees. All of that is eliminated. But one of the primary fees that you're not paying, because it's included in that price of the token, is the fee to manage the property. Could you imagine managing 403 units? All you do is you sit back and you collect your royalties. And for that reason, you will see the real estate market move to tokenization. It may not be fractional tokenization, which is in the square inch. This particular project is a project in Dubai, which is one of the hottest markets in the world. It's designed to allow anyone and everyone play. My son, who is 23 years old, can own real estate in Dubai for $99. At $99, he'll own 10 square inches. My 18-year-old daughter, same thing. Anyone that's 18 years old, has a smartphone, and is willing to put $99 in, is able to own real estate in Dubai. And I know that's huge for many, many families. There are tons of families on the planet that have never owned a piece of real estate in their life. So the ability to play is here with GS Partners. Now, this is a slide I usually turn back over to Mr. Green. I'm going to allow him to go through this, and then I'll jump in and do the next slide.
Thank you, Mr. Raouf. I do want to go on record and say, because we are not giving financial advice, because the Security Exchange Department allows us to be privileged in doing business in the United States, certain words we can't use. So I do want to go on record and say, saying it's guaranteed, we're not suggesting that there's a guarantee that we're personally guaranteeing. What we're saying is the blockchain is programmed to repay the value at 86.92%, which is then traded back in token, exchanged, and in the form of your dollar. So we're saying per blockchain, that number we're giving you is the guaranteed number, but we cannot, based on the rules and regulations of the Security Exchange Commissioner, we're not going to use the term as guaranteed that we're paying you. And I hope that makes sense. Now, based on this voucher milestone, I want everyone to understand, my job is to make it very simple. What does it mean and how we're going to get paid? So if you allow me just 2 minutes, I'll explain exactly what this is. There are targets that we're going to have to hit in order for all this to come together. There are targets, okay? The first target is we are going to then be using the $70 million is the sales target. So imagine in phase one, Mr. Joseph Height and the Gold Standard Bank has a goal in mind of $70 million being hit by the marketing department. That basically we're the ones that's going to go out and market this as opposed to it being on the TV and being commercialized. Okay. Now, out of the 70 million, the commissionable percentage that's going to be then paid back to the net person, or not the net, but the networker or the marketing arm, which is us, that 30% of the 70 million becomes $21 million paid in commission. So 70 million, 30%, that's going to be distributed amongst the people that's going to market this to their friends, family, and anyone who's looking for a way to make extra money will get $21 million dispersed amongst, now listen to this. This is what I love the most. We have a collateral in regular transactions of real estate in the United States. You have to come out of pocket with a collateral that's called cash. And then they have underwriting based on all of the other underlying qualifying criteria that you fall into. But when we're talking about a milestone on tokenized real estate, the only thing that you need is a dream, G999, which is the collateral, at 15%. So for every dollar that you spend, 15% of it must be in G999, and you get to hold and own the G999 coin. Now, when all that's said and done, the value of that 15% out of the 21 million comes out to be $10,500,000, $10,500,000. Now, imagine this. You go to a carnival, and at the carnival, you want to get on a ride. And on this ride, they're going to give out a certain amount of tickets based on how much you pay for them. So when you look and see distributed token vouchers, those vouchers will determine how big your reward is at the end of the ride. So to simplify this, you take the token price of $9.63, and based on the amount of tickets that you purchase, on the overall target of $70 million being sold, Mr. Joseph Haidt has programmed to the blockchain an $18 valuation in a token that can be cashed in Q4 of this year. Now, once we hit that milestone, there's a big number at the bottom that says Lydian World Incentive. This is what I really want you to understand. If we complete this as a concerted effort as the group, as the marketing arm of Gold Standard Bank as a partner, he's going to take $8 million, go to Gold Standard Exchange, because we have our own exchange, so it's called GS Trade. That exchange will allow us and allow Mr. Haidt to spend $8 million, taking those coins that you use that 15% on the discount that you still own, and he's going to place a buy order and buy all those coins off of the market. We have a deflationary model, meaning you take coins out of the market, you destroy them, and then you have a thing that's called supply and demand. Whoever owns those coins get to make their own price. And that price is called the price is right, and you get to name it. Back to you, Mr. Raouf.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me? I am. I'm unmuted. Thank you, Mr. Green. That was an amazing presentation on this particular slide. Now we're going to take a look at the why behind the what. So what I had to ask myself is, why would someone give me 86.92% return on my investment, whether it be phase 1, 2, regardless? Why would he do that? Who's going to allow me to give them $100 and in 4 months they're going to give me $186 back, or 187 if you rounded it up? Well, I'm going to explain to you exactly why. It's this magical thing called collateral. As Mr. Green said, if we're doing a traditional real estate transaction, you're going to buy a house, they're going to ask you for collateral. Your collateral is your down payment, right? So what we're asking in this particular project in phase 1 is 15%. Yeah, 15% collateral. Now this collateral is coming from our native coin, which is G999. When I say native coin, as Mr. Green said, we have our own blockchain. It's interesting to know that most coins on the market today, the vast majority of them do not have a blockchain. We have our own blockchain. We have our native coin. That native coin is G999 and is set up in a deflationary model, as Mr. Green said. So it's based on supply and demand. As coins come out of circulation and they're either destroyed or locked away in staking/savings accounts, the value of the coin has the potential to increase. And you've all seen it. Just 2.5, 3 weeks ago, Bitcoin was $28,000. Right now, today, is $45,000, right? More coins coming out of circulation, the price goes up. Now, at today's market price, which is approximately 0.4 of a penny for our G999 coin, if we were to collateralize $10.5 million, we would have 2.625 billion coins taken off the market. Now, I'm going to show you where I get this number from. I didn't just pull it out of the sky. That's this number here, 15%, $10.5 million equals 2.625 billion coins off the market. Now, down here is where it gets interesting. This is just the same number because it's today. If it all came off today, this is what it would look like. But look at what happens to this collateral at 1 cent. Mind you, in a traditional purchase where you're using your own personal collateral. So we use real simple numbers. If we were to buy something for $100 and they said you need 15% collateral in cash and I'll lend you the rest of the money, that would be $15 in cash that you would put down. Do you think that that $15 will have more value or less value in 10 years? And it's real simple. Do you think you can get the same thing for $15 today that you did 10 years ago? The answer to that is no. Every day of the week, our dollar or our fiat dollar system of currency is not designed to appreciate, which is why this deflationary model that the world is flocking to is taken off. This same 2.625 billion coins is now going to be worth at just 1 penny, 26.25 million. At 10 cents, you're looking at 262.5 million. The dollar is over there. That's real simple math, 2.625 billion. So as you can see, there's an ecosystem here, a plan in place, a strategy, a system of having a digital currency, a utility coin. Our G999 is a utility coin. It has actual use. We have our own decentralized communication system. That's a completely different conversation. We have savings accounts that pay up to 12%. What are we getting paid? At my bank, Umpqua Bank here in Washington, they pay 0.01% on my money in a savings account. And yes, I'm a real estate agent. I made multiple 6 figures last year. There's no way I'm leaving that type of money in the bank at 0.01%, knowing they lend it out for car loans at 29%. So the name of the game is collateral, a deflationary model, and pulling coins out of circulation. There's one more thing I want to add to what Mr. Green had said about this $8 million. When Mr. Height, or he has already, this is programmed into the blockchain, so he cannot take it back. When this milestone is hit, it will go straight to our GS Trade platform and purchase the coins in order that are put, the sell orders that are put on there, and we get to name our price. Now, if you put it too high, you might not get any of your coins purchased. But that in itself is just amazing. If you do the math on that, at the current market price, that's another 2 billion coins coming off the market on top of the 2.625 billion coins that'll come off the market as well, just by collateralizing the 10.5 million. And I just hope that all of that made sense. I know I said a lot of numbers, but the name of the game is collateral, and there's a reason why the collateral is so important, and he will pay you the 86.92% return on what you put into the project. Because remember, this money here, as it goes up to $1, which it definitely has the potential to do, will be used to fund additional projects. This is just one property within his portfolio. There will be many more to come. So it's very simple. Once again, very easy to do. We have trainings. We can set you up where you can go right into your back office and make your initial purchase. The first thing you need to do is grab some G999 coins, because this is what we will use as your collateral. We'll show you how to put that on your dashboard. I know that may sound foreign at this point, but we'll put it on your dashboard, because again, 15% of the total purchase, and this is a scenario where they're purchasing $999 of this XLT token, 15% of that is coming from your collateral. Now, remember, the collateral is always yours. You don't lose this. The community does not lose this. As the coins are pulled out of the market and the value of the coin goes up, guess what? So does the value of your collateral. Only $849 or 85% of what's invested or put into the project is going toward the tokens. And at this point, $999 gets you 103 of the XLT tokens. And once again, that's what your collateral look like. 42,121 G999 tokens will be collateralized. All right, so Dubai, City of Innovation. Mr. Green and I, we just got back from there a little over a month ago. We had to put eyes on the project, got to meet the owner. Mr. Joseph Heights is a real guy. This is a real company. And the building, which we'll see in a few minutes, is definitely real, a tangible building. At first, I thought, hey, maybe this might be a virtual building. It's tokenized. No, this is a real, you will own real physical property in Dubai. And why the fourth quarter? Well, in the fourth quarter of 2021, which was actually slated for 2020, we all know what happened in 2020, so it was pushed back. They're going to have the World Expo. And if you don't know what the World Expo is, let's take a quick look.
Come to the greatest global gathering in history, with countries from all over the world. Discover the world's most inventive ideas. See devices that extract water from air, concrete that generates solar power, and the most sensitive radio telescope ever made. Marvel at the world's most inspiring architecture. Step into structures that produce electricity, spaces that change shape, and buildings that send messages to space. Connect with local and global experts, partners, and investors. Join business forums. Participate in thought leadership discussions. Be part of solving today's challenges. Experience the world's greatest entertainment with local and international stars, live concerts, and colorful parades. Take in inspirational art, sample exotic cuisines, and witness more than 190 countries and cultures come together in one place. Join the making of a new world. Expo 2020 Dubai.
So this expo is a part of the reasoning why we will launch this project in the fourth quarter. It's a 6-month expo. And why not launch Dubai's first commercial tokenized real estate during this expo? Now, this slide just kind of goes over the actual market in Dubai. Over 64% of the total real estate investors are new investors. The world is changing before our very eyes. More and more people are working from home, which means you can work from anywhere. As long as you have a laptop, a smartphone, and access to the internet, why not do your work in Dubai, one of the most innovative places on the planet? And I gotta say, with me being there, it's a beautiful place to do business. Now, let's take a quick look inside to see what this G999 or G999 exclusive living building has. You got 36 stories of residential building, 7 minutes. It's only 7 minutes from the Dubai Mall, which is one of the biggest malls on the planet. 23 minutes from the Palm Jumeirah. I have a hard time pronouncing that one. And 19 minutes from the Burj Khalifa, which is just amazing. I had the opportunity to go to the top of that building, which kind of freaked me out a little bit because it is, I think it's almost a mile up. And I had the most amazing $300 steak that I will never do again. I had to do it and experience it just once. And who knows, maybe I will. You never say never, right? It has 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom apartments, office spaces, business center, swimming pool, beauty salons, and even prayer rooms, much, much more. So these are all of the sort of the amenities or what you will find inside the building. And this video here is an actual walkthrough of what you'll get. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. We're going into detail in regards to some of the behind the scenes information about the project. This project is duly owned by SAA Properties. The name of the building is the G999 Exclusive Living. It includes 192 units, 203 additional units or luxury units. The chairman of the board is Joseph Heitz. The e-commerce and advertising for this exclusive living project is us, the GS Partners platform. So in order for you to take advantage of tokenized real estate in Dubai, you would need to go through the GS Partners platform and a GS Partners affiliate. The property will be managed by Driven Properties, which again is a huge, huge benefit to owning an apartment complex. I just came off of a webinar for a building in Austin, Texas that my brother-in-law purchased for $16 million. In the 4 months that it took for them to close the deal, it appreciated 4 million or 5 million, I'm sorry. This property is now worth 21 million and they require $100,000 investment. And it's going to be approximately 5 years before you see the return on your investment. With this, it's much less, a lot less that you have at risk, and you have a professional property management company taking care of the project. So with that said, I want to thank you for tuning in and taking a look at Gold Standard Partners.